Welcome to the Truth Behind Dentistry podcast episode. I'm your host today, Darius Somakian, co-founder of Pair Dental, head of business development for Cloud Dentistry. Today, I have the amazing Dr. Ingrid Murra, a Harvard orthodontist that took upon herself to start a startup called TwoFront. And what these guys are building is something really incredible that dentistry has needed for some time. I always wondered why there was never a turnkey solution like they have. TwoFront is on a mission to empower orthodontists and dentists to provide patients with the best clear aligner care by working together through software. Very interesting stuff. Welcome, Dr. Ingrid Murra.
Thank you for having me.
It's our pleasure. We go back a decent couple of years now. It's a pleasure to have you as a friend, and I'm very fond about what you're building in dentistry. Tell us about TwoFront.
Thank you so much. It means a lot to me considering you've been in our industry for so long. So I started TwoFront a couple of years ago, and basically we're on a mission to help everyone involved. The orthodontist, obviously I'm an orthodontist, and I can tell you a little bit about that story around why I started this personally, but also to help dentists and patients, because I realized my very first year in residency for ortho that no one's winning right now. Essentially, these mail order aligner companies came out and Invisalign became mass marketed. And basically, no one really knows what high quality care is anymore. So what we're really looking to do is to empower patients to get the highest quality care and really know what that means, like know what they're looking for. When I was in residency, I realized that orthodontists, everyone around me was over $500,000 in student debt. And this was in addition to the fact that patients now didn't know, after all this mass marketing, why they needed an orthodontist. And basically 6 months into my residency, I realized you need an orthodontist. No matter what, I realized this is really hard. It's just as hard as braces. I wasn't comfortable treating a friend or a family member until my third year of residency. That's like 5,500 hours. And to become an Invisalign provider on your own, it's like a 3.5 hour certification on a Saturday. Let me tell you, it's not that simple.
Interesting.
Yeah. And so basically what we do is we say it's a little bit like Uber meets Airbnb for our industry, where we help orthodontists build a virtual practice from our platform to provide patients what they're really looking for, which is convenient care, convenient, accessible, of course, high quality care from their dental office. Mail order liner companies went one direction, which is don't see your provider altogether, do everything yourself. And I think a lot of people now realize why that's so troublesome. But patients really want what their dentist tells them to do. It's who do you trust with your teeth? It's your dentist. So we basically staff an orthodontist at your office once a month, and we give them the tools and the team to be able to run an incredibly efficient practice by leveraging your space, hence the Uber meets Airbnb part. So the breakdown of how it works is when we partner with an office, we send a treatment coordinator in there once a week with a mobile iTero scanner to scan all of the dentist patients. We learned this the hard way. We learned that it's really hard for dentists to really incorporate scanning all their patients into a busy practice workflow. So we tell them, hey, you don't have to do that. We're going to send a treatment coordinator. We're going to scan all of your patients. The only requirement on partnership is that you book patients through the orthodontist scheduling platform on their non-doctor days for a preventative checkup with their orthodontist. That's how we get up to 60 consultations a month, digital consultations a month in front of the orthodontist. So already that's like over 10 times what the traditional Invisalign practice does. Traditional Invisalign practice treats one patient per month, even though the average practice is seeing between 300 to 400 patients. So we do that. We give orthodontists their own Invisalign portal, their own virtual care portal. They have the ability to chat with their patients. And basically, we give them logistics management and inventory management so that they're running their entire practice from their desktop. And basically, the dentist can generate passive income because all they're doing is booking patients, and that's it.
How does it work with the patients that are coming through? Who's responsible for gathering the patients and lining up the consults? Is it the general dentist when the patient's in the chair, or is there any sort of gap in the communication that you guys help to bridge to help get the patients to want to come in for the consults? Because you work with the existing charts, right? Not so much external marketing. Although there may be a patient listening here saying, I'm looking to get Invisalign. I'd like to come into a ToothFront two-front center, so to speak. Is that what you would call it? A two-front center?
We actually don't. Do you know Next Health? We're a little bit like Next Health. We're kind of the background. So we give patients a portal, which is powered by TwoFront. But when we give dentists this portal, it's white labeled with their logo. So from a patient's perspective, it's their dentist practice. We're just facilitating collaborative care through our portal with this in-house specialist.
Amazing. And obviously, it's the same orthodontist that comes in on a recurring basis to the practice.
Yes, it's the same orthodontist. And, that's our number one values are to always put the patient first. And so part of that is continuity of patient care. The patients are going to get the best treatment in the shortest time on aligners if they have the same orthodontist from beginning to end. So we do make sure that whenever an orthodontist starts a patient, they're going to finish that patient, whether they move to Nebraska or have to leave the country, they get paid at the end of the patient's treatment. So they will basically they will finish all clin checks and all virtual checkups.
And how does the patient financing portion work, and what's your footprint look like?
Yep. So we're totally vertically integrated. The patient experience is end-to-end digital. So everything from booking to treatment plan presentation from the orthodontist to payment plans and then communication with the orthodontist is all one seamless end-to-end experience. And we have incorporated 2 different financing plans into our checkout page. We use Affirm, which is 36 months interest-free for tier 1 and tier 2 credit scores. And then we use Choice, which is really phenomenal. We're able to support credit scores of 520 and above. 72 months, which breaks it down to $90 a month with interest for patients that need that interest.
And pediatric patients, do you also treat them as well too, or just mostly teenagers and healthy adults and what have you?
Yeah, pediatrics is on the roadmap. It's a little bit more complicated. Right now, we just make sure that we get patients that have their full adult dentition in front of the orthodontist. But down the line, we really do plan to incorporate pediatrics.
Why would a practice say no to this? What would be an objection that would say no to? I'm just curious, honestly. From our perspective with Paradental, we field calls all the time from offices wanting an in-house orthodontist to come in. And every so often we get that call where we can just hear them practically crying on the other side of the phone that the orthodontist left. There's a whole bunch of revolving cases outstanding. They don't know what to tell 1,000 little Johnny's mothers. So like, to me, it's like a clear reason why they should be using you, because you guys, you take on all that. And the continuity of care is somewhat enhanced as well too, I would imagine.
The continuity of care is the biggest piece. And I can attest to that firsthand. When I moved from New York to Los Angeles, I was still practicing. I was practicing 6 days a week over there. And I had to leave all these patients mid-treatment. It is the absolute worst thing for a dentist, for the patient, for the orthodontist. Every relationship is broken. Patients have to be refunded generally. Most patients are not okay waiting for a new orthodontist. And so the continuity of patient care piece is huge. People ask us why we don't use braces. With Invisalign, with clear aligners, we are able to provide continuity of patient care. Because orthodontists do have the dashboard to finish clin checks and finish monitoring patients every 2 weeks in between their aligners. So let's say a patient does leave, or an orthodontist does leave, then basically, because we've trained the dental assistants at that office, that dental assistant can support that patient in-person care as long as a licensed professional is there.
And so tell me, what does TwoFront furnish versus what does the office furnish? Office takes care of staff. TwoFront brings in the digital intraoral scanner, the supplies, the lab fees.
Yeah. So the basic breakdown is the dentist provides 1 chair once a month. They allow a staff member from our team, a TwoFront treatment coordinator, to come to their office to scan all their patients. And then we ask them to book all their hygiene and new patients for an annual digital checkup with their orthodontist, which basically amounts to booking 3 patients a week on average, or 3 patients a day. The orthodontist that we staff, we only work with orthodontists who really specialize in Invisalign, so they can treat all typical braces cases with Invisalign. And we basically leverage a TwoFront platform to treat patients conveniently from your office and to complete all patient care no matter what. So continuity of patient care is utmost importance. What TwoFront provides is obviously the staffing of the orthodontist and the staffing of the treatment coordinator. We also provide that mobile iTero scanner. We provide the scheduling platform, and that's pretty important because it triggers a series of events every time a patient is booked. We connect with their EMR, we pull the insurance card, we pull the x-rays, everything that we need to present treatment plans to the patient and for the orthodontist to do a digital consultation and assessment without having to see the patient in person. We also provide the orthodontist with a treatment plan presentation page that really delightfully presents patients, with all the information they need to know. Why not an Invisalign price shop? Why not mail order liner companies? How does interproximal reduction work? This includes a treatment contract. It includes their insurance information. It includes their iTero before and after, all in one personalized treatment plan. And of course, the checkout page. Once patients are in treatment, then we provide a patient portal for that the patient and the entire ecosystem, which allows the patient to schedule and reschedule, communicate with their orthodontist, communicate with back office support, which is our clinical care team. And they have a resource center in there where we've basically written dozens of articles around patients' most frequently asked questions. So, and then of course, we pay all fees and we provide all management. And so our goal, and we've iterated on this business model a few times as of 2 years ago, our goal is to make this hands-off for the dental practice owner. Dentists are busy. We know that the average Invisalign case, which most dentists don't realize, takes 6 hours on average between the consultation, refinements, chair time, chair breakdown time. At the end of the day, if you're charging $5,000 and you're getting charged $2,200 from Invisalign and all the other associated costs, it ends up not being profitable. So our goal is to make it incredibly profitable and to drive more patients at every office.
Yeah, because when you add up everything, including the Invisalign lab fee, the office is really not netting that much. And the liability that they're taking on being the practice on record that owns the chart, per se. Do you guys own the charts or would the practice own the chart, by the way?
No, so the way it's the orthodontist who's clinically liable for the patient. Of course, a patient can always sue anyone and everyone, but
Sure.
it's the orthodontist license, which is getting billed under insurance.
Yeah. Sorry, I cut you off earlier. I'm still curious. I don't know what any objection that a practice owner would have to this. Like existing ortho doesn't do aligners, they just do conventional braces, or it's filled with pediatric patients, perhaps.
I'll tell you the biggest thing is people just don't know who we are. We don't even have a sales team. I'm not really a big believer in just like dialing. Like we really want to grow by having a really good service and growing through referrals and having dentists say, you know what, I really like this. I'm going to tell my friends about it. That's really our growth strategy, is just to build a better product and deliver a better service for their patients. In terms of why they would say no, A, they don't know about us since we don't have a sales team. And B, it's just not traditional. This doesn't really exist in dentistry where we really kind of facilitate outsourced passive income. And people don't really know what that means, or something that's totally free. And so I think it's something that it just takes a little bit to wrap your head around. But as soon as dentists realize it, they're typically like, oh my God, this is a no-brainer.
Yeah, because the local events that you've been doing in LA, you've had receptions as large as 100 practice owners show up, and there's been a ton of interest for people to want to get started out, I would imagine.
Yeah, we have a wait list right now. We're super lucky and we're really excited. We're just limited by the amount of time that we have to onboard dentists. But yeah, we're onboarding dentists throughout SoCal right now and hopefully NorCal later this year.
That's fantastic. And for any group practices out there listening with, let's say, 5 or a dozen or more locations, we're looking for anchor tenant partners.
Absolutely.
Thanks for your time today. We really appreciate it. It's a pleasure being friends with you, and I love working with you.
Oh, that's so nice, Darius. Thanks for having me. This is really fun.
It's my pleasure.